Right, quick thing about that. All of that dialogue just then. The reason A created her like the way he did was because he wanted Carmen. He wanted Carmen back. He wanted Carmen back in a way that she wouldn't leave again. He wanted Carmen back in a way he could control, I think. I blame Carmen for so many bad things in this world. Like, A is almost as much a victim of Carmen as Angela is. But sort of that dialogue made me think, oh, what was it? There was a line she said that made me think of the opening cutscene. Like the first song, the first Millie song in this. And there's one brief shot that stuck with me. And it's Angela looking in a mirror, and Carmen is there with her face scribbled out. And that has stuck with me because that is an incredibly vivid and symbolic thing. And I'm still not 100% sure what it means. Because she obviously knows she is designed to look like Carmen. So it's not a literal, whose face do I have? So my figuring was it was either her saying that she's an imperfect reflection, or she's not living up to it, or like Carmen herself is an imperfect reflection. I don't know. Sorry, there's been so much in this one. I'm mentally drained after Lovetown. He wanted Carmen, but what he got was not Carmen. She had the wrong eyes, so he rejected her. That's what I'm going with. Because Frankenstein. I don't think it's Carmen's fault that A decided to make Angela. That's on him. Angela is nothing like Carmen. She's herself. I think it's Carmen's... It's not Carmen's fault that A decided to make Angela, but Carmen inspired love in everyone around her. That's like her big thing, that all of these people joined up because Carmen said, hey, I need you. And they were like, I'm there. And oh, I know I always compare it to, but like the parallels between Carmen and Rose Quartz are incredible in my mind, that they both, and they're the reason I always compare them is because they're the only things. No, it's definitely not a cult leader thing. No, not at all. Because it was a genuine love. Like, Carmen did inspire genuine love in these people, and she probably felt genuine love for them as well. She didn't use these people. She just didn't care as much as she should have. She inspired these people to flock to her to try and help her achieve her goal. And then she abandoned them. I think people would see it as a cult leader thing unless they understood it. Because from the outside, how could anyone inspire that much loyalty? But we saw it. We saw it in the flashbacks. All of those people, Giovanni and like Michelle, Enoch, they all loved her. They all absolutely loved her. And not in a cult way, just in a, she is the best person I've ever met, and if she thinks she can help people, I believe her way. I don't know, maybe that's a cult thing. I don't know. Maybe that is a cult thing. But like, there are only, what, 2 of them who didn't follow her because they loved her, and one of them was Binner, Garion. But for the most part, I think the thing that's the worst in my mind isn't just that she abandoned them. Is that she abandoned them and said to A, look, if I ever abandon this, I need you to finish it. She put it all on A, to the point that she made him dependent on her, and then just walked away from it. I mean, she didn't walk away, obviously, you know what happened with her, but she put it on A. So I think because of that, it is sort of her fault that he made Angela. I mean, yeah, early A mistreated Angela. Oh, Hockmer, yeah, I suppose Hockmer had that trust for A. Sorry, I keep calling him A-in. But she created this air about her that made people love her and want to do what she wanted them to do. And then just didn't live up to it. I believe back in LC, Hockmer wanted to stop Ayan partially because he didn't want Ayan to die pursuing someone else's ideal. But Ayan was happy to do it because he did love Carmen. It's like a chain of not cruelty, just a chain of neglect. Carmen abandoned Ayan and Ayan abandoned Angela. But the difference is Angela never had the love for Ayan, which is why she pulled the cord on Ayan and Carmen's life dream. I love the story of this game. I love the story of this world. They do it so well. They have such horrible, horrible things in it. And to be honest, this is probably the only world, fictional world, where I am sort of okay with the everything is terrible. Because, like, I don't like it in other things, like Attack on Titan. I hated the nihilism in the story. But I don't know why, but I'm okay with it in this. I think because the characters are better than they are in Attack on Titan. Maybe that's controversial. I'm not that big a fan of Attack on Titan. I think the characters are very poorly written for the most part. There are only like 2 I actually like. Anyway, I don't want to get into Attack on Titan. I just mentioned it in passing, but like that's an example of a story where there is no real happiness. Everything is just shades of awful. But like Roland has that neglect as well, but I see Roland as I don't know. I don't know what he is or isn't neglecting. Yeah, Roland is nihilistic because he had everything he wanted and the city took it away. That nebulous the city. It's just a fact of life of living in this place, which is the only place one can live, so therefore the entire world is terrible, so therefore what is the point of looking for anything more than that? That's the basis of nihilism. This is more hopeful than many of the other games, like the world of Dark Souls. That's some real nihilism. Well, the thing with Dark Souls is that the core premise of that is the world is dying. That's not the case here. The world is not dying. It's just awful. If anything, the world is thriving, but it's just awful on every level. So it's a much better nihilism than something like Dark Souls, because I don't like futility as a theme. Sorry, I'm just waxing lyrical about bloody everything right now. I'm just going to keep doing it for now, if that's okay. I don't like futility because what's the point of the story if it's all futile, you know? That's why there are some films and stuff, films and TV shows I don't watch. I don't want to rewatch. I have no interest in rewatching however much I enjoyed them, because I know the ending isn't good. And if the ending isn't good, what was the point? But with this, because this is how it is and this is how it's always been, this isn't everything's falling apart, the world is going to end, we're just clinging to the last vestiges of life. That's not what this is at all. This is very much, the city is thriving. People have found 1,000 million ways to try and lift themselves up out of the muck that is this city because of the ultra-capitalist, class-based, monstrosity-ridden thing that this world is. And in a way, that's sort of a message of hope, that there are all of these ways. Hope in like extreme capitalism. There is very little chance of the world actually being changed, but there's no chance of the world ending. So there isn't that futility, is my point. And like Attack on Titan, that didn't have... Sorry, I'm going back to that briefly. That didn't have the futility in that way until the late season, at which point, you know, the futility central, but not the point. So that's a better kind of nihilism. Nihilism that is a nihilism you live with, rather than a nihilism that everything's just going to end. So like a soft nihilism, Dark Souls is the hard nihilism, this is the soft one. Yes, there, you can make a difference for a couple of people, but you can't change the world. Very much. I mentioned in Lobco that my take on the moral theme was you can only do what's best for you and yours. Because that's basically the motto of this world. Everybody's crawling over themselves to try and get out of the muck, and in doing so they're pushing other people down. Because everybody is doing that, so everybody has to do that. Prisoner dilemma sort of thing. If they all work together, they could lift them all up, but no one's gonna do it. That's probably why Carmen inspired such loyalty and such love. Because not only did she say, look, I can lift people up without everybody needing to work together, but she actually could. Potentially. I don't know what would have happened if they'd had the full 7 days of light. They had, what, 4 days and then 3 days of dark? How would giving them more light have helped, you know? Don't answer that. So that's why she could inspire this loyalty, because she came to this world of hopeless nihilism, or hopeful nihilism, and said, here is an actual solution. And the fact that she was like friendly and amicable and pretty, you know, this all helped to make people support her. But she just couldn't. Oh, it was 3 days of light and 4 dark, okay. But yeah, she just couldn't follow it through. And that's why I blame Carmen for this. Because she gave them that hope. She gave them the potential for a solution. And then not only didn't follow it through, but dropped it all on Ayn. Alright. I think that's all I've got. Thank you very much. Try not to have nightmares, and I will catch you later.